I wanted to real quick just kind of mention we were in Indiana over the weekend. We went to Bloomington Assembly Hall on Saturday for the Indiana-Illinois game. We recorded we broadcast after dark from the Tap in Bloomington. We had a great setup. I don't know if you guys saw it, but we were in there. They have a little basement bar down there. We set up the camera on the bar right in front of the taps. They said that we could drink as much beer as we wanted, which we took full advantage of.
Oh, good God. You put them out of business. That was
Yeah.
the dumbest thing they could have done.
No comment. But you could see people walking on the street behind us, and for like every 15 minutes or so, there was the Irish pub next door. This guy would come out and sit in the doorwell, leaning right up against the window, fully on the broadcast, puffing on a cigarette. Like he was probably out there for a good like 25% of the show. That's smoking's bad for you. Don't do it, kids. I also want to give a shout out to like the one thing that I've realized going on these trips, Fana, you've probably experienced a lot of this. TO, you're getting it now that you're getting more games. Is the SIDs, the people that make it easy. Like,
superstars.
If you like coverage on your team, give credit to the guys that create the access and they create the ability for us to be able to do that. Like, we were able to get with Jalen Hood-Schifino, who's going to end up being a lottery pick, and Trace Jackson Davis, who's going to end up being, if Zach Edey doesn't win National Player of the Year, which he's probably going to, it's going to end up being Trace Jackson Davis. We were able to get both those guys for about 5 minutes exclusively in the hallway behind the games, right? At Purdue, Chris Foreman was able to set us up where we could do our show on the court 3 hours after the game ended. Same thing happened at Kansas State. Same thing happened at Texas. Same thing happened at Missouri, like that. And that's just the trips that we've gone on this year, to say nothing of the people that pick up their phone and answer whenever we just start bugging them at the end of the game, right? Hey, can you get this guy to jump on a Zoom, please? You know what I mean? Fanti, you do a lot of that for us on Field of the 68. I know you do a lot of that for your Big East stuff. Like, if you like the coverage that your team gets, it's because you have SIDs that are willing to work with a bunch of idiots like us. So credit to them. They don't get enough of a shout out. So I want to give them a shout out there. Last thing I want to say. At the Purdue game, one thing that happened, I didn't realize that this happens. Zach Edey will go and do the press conference. He'll go do his media obligations. He'll come do whatever interview he needs to do on the court. He did it with us. And then there will be just a line of kids standing in the front row. Literally, it was around halfway around the entire court, the edge at Mackey Arena. And he walked through for an hour, signed every single autograph, took every single picture, and he does that every single game. I was blown away by that. Like, I don't know how often you guys see that. That's not going to happen at a lot of high major programs. It does happen at Kentucky. We got to give Oscar Sheboy a shout out there. He makes sure to sign every single autograph at least get one for every single kid that's there, right? There's a lot of times, like, they have a late game, a 9:00 game on SEC Network. He's not going to get to everyone, but he will sign one for every single kid that's there, according to that's what TJ Beisner, the guy that's in charge of all of that stuff. That's what he says that he does every single game he's out there. So credit to both of them. It's nice to see young players understand the influence and the memories that creates, right?
Yes.
If Zach Edey,
and it's fleeting.
Yes. Yeah. But you create a fan for life. Like, those kids, every kid that gets a picture with Zach Edey is going to be a diehard Boilermaker fan for the rest of their life. What that does is it creates a legacy, it creates a culture, it creates an understanding that the next superstar is going to have that same, going to have to do that same kind of a thing, right? And it means that anytime that you graduate, if you're a Purdue player, you're going to have like a base to call on to be able to find a job, somebody to be able to set you up, someone to get your foot in the door at a realty company, someone to help you do this, do that. Like, that's the way that it works. That's the value that you get. You're a star. You go out there, you let people see you, you get to meet them. You're just a nice guy. You're going to be set for life in that community because they are going to love and adore you the way that they love and adore Robbie Hummel, even though they have not given him a statue yet. It's a shame, really.
Well done, by the way. That was awesome.
That was a great piece, and shout out to Trevor.
They cut, Trevor. The way that he was able to put that together and have it like flow and make sense and look good, because we were just like randomly doing things. We're like, oh fuck, let's fuck around and get a video over here. This will be funny if we do this. Also, shout out to the woman.
They don't need a statue. They don't need a statue of Hummel. They need a golden knee brace.
One of the things he cut out was I asked the the woman at the university bookstore, one, like she had Hummel's back. She was not taking any of Goodman's shit. Like we cut a lot. She was like, "You're not. Why are you talking about Robbie like that? We love Robbie here." And Goodman was like, "Can you break a 20? I only want to spend $2 on that jersey." But I also asked her if they had the only time she broke, I asked her, she goes, "We have 2 signed jerseys." I was like, "Do you have any signed knee braces?" And that's when she kind of like looked and tried to give me a mad look and then just started cracking up like this. Trevor cut that part out. I was pretty proud of that one. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Listen.
That's awesome. Great. That's great. It looked like an amazing trip. It really did.
It was like those are two bucket list arenas for people to go to. I've been to Assembly Hall before, which is awesome because of the history around it. I think that Mackey is a better venue to watch a game. Better seats. It's louder. The student section is a little bit more coordinated, but I mean, you have to go to both of them. You got to get there at some point. All right, listen, I've kept you guys long enough. We always try to do these things in about an hour, and we always end up going about an hour and 15. That's just the way that it works on the DTF podcast. So for John Fanta, for CZ Bitcoin, my name is Rob Dosser. We'll see you guys again next Monday.